What to do if your coaching prospects continually to tell you they need to think about it on your enrollment calls. My name is Jason Nyback. I invest roughly about $1 million a year into Facebook ads on figuring out how to get clients and, getting clients. And then we teach it all to our clients and stuff like that. And what I want to do is talk to you about what to do when coaching prospects tell you that they need to think about it. Now, for context, when I'm saying think about it in coaching context, coaching prospects, I'm generally meaning people who are coming from cold traffic, meaning not a referral, not a word of mouth, not somebody who's been a friend of yours on Facebook for 12 years who reads every post and comments on everything and, your kids go to school together, that type of situation. I'm talking about somebody who sees your ad on a Monday and who's on the phone with you on a Wednesday. Cold. Didn't know you. Now they're seeing how they can work with you. That's the context of this. So what do? Well, the problem that a lot of coaches have is they get really excited and they start doing these calls and they see these people booking calls and they just get so enthusiastic and then they just get, I need to think about it. You need to think about it. And then the problem is they think that, they're just reaching a bunch of broke people, that all the people I'm getting from the ads are just broke. They're not qualified. They're broke. None of them want to work with me. Here's the problem. We'll get into that issue, but a lot of times it's not that. It's not that they don't have the money. It's that they don't want to give you the money. So how do we bridge that, know what it is, and for once and for all, get over this issue of always hearing, I need to think about it, because it can be frustrating when you waste an hour of your time on a call and the person's all in on it, and then at the end, I need to think about it. What do you say to that? You know what I mean? It's like they kind of gotcha. All right. Well, there's 3 things I want to share with you. The first thing I want to share with you is the marketing set up properly? Because here's the problem. If the potential client who you're talking to has not been set up properly in terms of a relationship with you, then they don't have any, you have no relationship currency. Now, what does that mean? It means that you have to have a level of trust, okay? And you have to have a level of credibility built for them to want to invest multiple thousands of dollars into working with you in your coaching program. There's no way around it. So you absolutely, without question, have to have that. And what a lot of coaches do is they rely on just old school credibility, some testimonials, some case studies, some life coaching certifications, kind of like stuff that anybody can get. Anybody can get testimonials. Anybody can get their friends to give them free testimonials or colleagues. And, anybody can get a certification from some $14 certification thing. And so not to diminish anything you have, but from the eyes of the viewer, it all looks the same. They're like, yeah, that person's got 47 certifications. Yeah, that person's got 300 testimonials. Oh, well, great. I don't care. You know what I mean? So how do we fix this? Because we need to set up a relationship currency so that they feel like they're like, I can't not work with that person. Okay? That's really what we want to get them to. So what we recommend, what we do and recommend to our clients, but what we do specifically is we get everybody to go through a automated webinar. Okay? And not a short one either. You want them to be a minimum in my experience, about 45 minutes, because it gives us a chance to help diagnose the problem. Once we've diagnosed the problem, explain our solution, and then explain to them the cost of, quite frankly, not doing it. And also, we do put some credibility in there and stuff like that. But we found that this is the best way for us, because when they finally get to the call, they spent however long the webinar is. They know me, they know my story, they understand the background. Of course, there's some credibility built into that, like we said, but they know the problems and all these things. It's all baked into it. So the marketing needs to be set up properly. They need to feel like they've had their fears addressed, their concerns, their problems, all this kind of stuff before the call even happens. And most coaches are not doing that. Most coaches are basically getting calls from, referrals and word of mouth and stuff like that, people chatting them up on Facebook, and then they're like, you know what, I need to scale my coaching business, so I'm going to fire up the ads. And then they go on the ads and they do the exact same thing. They're like, private message me or watch this quick video, that kind of stuff. And they don't understand that if this is a relationship frequency of 100%, where they're like in, they know you, they want to work with you, you can get them to that through long-term organic marketing, through a referral, through word-of-mouth stuff, you know what I mean? Oh, but it's not scalable. And so, but the problem is you've got that built into relationship-based marketing. But when you take somebody from an ad, they're like down here, and they need to get up here by the time you talk to them, or somewhere close to that, where they're just not going to, they'll be nice, they'll be polite, but they're not going to buy anything from you, even if it was 27 cents. They don't care. They don't have the money. It's not that they don't have the money. They don't want them to give you the money. So we need to make sure we have the right marketing setup. That is fundamentally the first thing. It doesn't matter if you're a ninja closer who can close 100% of everything. If for every call you do, you get 2 sales because they send you a referral. These coaches get eaten alive if they don't have the marketing setup. Second thing is, we need to have the right script, okay? So we always set up, for us, we want to have make sure the marketing set up properly so that the relationship is built, questions are answered, trust is built, all that kind of stuff. Diagnosis is done. Now, then it's the right script, okay? So what's happening on these enrollment calls is they're very templated, they're very, formulaic, and the people are just, they've listened to it 100 times. They've seen all these calls, they've heard it, and they don't believe it, and they feel like they're taken through like some timeshare sales pitch. And so when they get to the end of it, they're just like, if this is an introduction to working with you, I don't want to work with you, okay? And then they don't. And so the script has to be obviously authentic, but we have training on scripts and stuff on my training and my videos that I've given here. But specifically what we're looking to have happen on that script is a deep dive into understanding the cost of even doing this. If people don't feel like there is a cost that they're paying, why would they want to work with you? They don't need to. You know what I'm saying? Meaning if they get to the end of the call, and let's say your coaching is like 10K, hypothetically, okay? Well, if they feel like their problem is a $5,000 problem, they're not going to pay you $10,000. Nobody will. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And so they need to understand that they have like a $20,000 or $30,000 problem, meaning if they hang up that phone, they're faced with something, and not just financially, it could be all the different emotionally, health-wise, all that kind of stuff. They got a big problem, okay? But the cost of working with you is here. Does that make sense? So you've got to understand that. The other thing about the script is what most people screw up is they commoditize their coaching. They think people are buying their stuff, okay? So they're like, well, I've got this video and that video and 20 hours of this and 36 hours of this and all this and that. And then the people are just like, what? Yeah, how much content do you have? I got to do what? And it's a year? I need to think about that. And they basically mentally paralyze them to the point where they're just like, I don't know if I want to do that much work. Or it sounds like it's so commoditized that they're like, well, I can get that for free on YouTube. Why would I work with this person? Meaning, we have these diet coaches. Well, I'm going to help you, work out some recipes, and I'm going to show you some workouts, and I'm going to help you with some mindset stuff. Okay, all right. Well, that's great, but it's got to be deeper in the sense so that you're good. But what they heard is, okay, I can go on Google and get some recipes. I can get a workout guide for free on Google, and I can get the rest on YouTube. Why would I pay you? You see what I mean? But your stuff's in depth and it's good, and you're going through all this stuff, and you're going to help them, and so your stuff's amazing and they need it, but they hear in their ears, they're like, why would I pay for that? You see what I'm saying? So if you've commoditized the script, they're just going to be like, well, I didn't think about that. Or if you've completely overwhelmed them, they're going to be like, I really need to think about that. That sounds like a lot, right? So it's not always the price. It rarely is the price. So that's the second thing we need to fix is the script structure. And that's what we do for us. The third thing, and I've got all these notes here, is fear. Okay? The third thing that we need to fix is the fear of the people. Okay? They're not scared of you. Nobody's going to watch all your stuff, come on a call, and the whole way through be like, oh, I think this person's a scam. I think this is a scam. I think, like they would have never got that far. They're not going to get all the way through your marketing, all the way through their stuff and be like, oh, I think you're, I don't know. I don't know about you. You know what I mean? Like, unless they're just really bored and really, really just got nothing to do, and you would have figured that out, you'd have probably canceled the call or ended it early. The fear they mainly have is of them. Because you got to remember, why is somebody reaching out to you about your coaching? Because they haven't been able to get that process or outcome, or they would have gotten it by now and they wouldn't be on a phone with you. See what I mean? So they're in a place of fear, not fear mongering, but like, I don't know if I can do this because I failed at other things. So what makes you different? Meaning, like, why won't I fail with you? And so we've got to help them understand and help them transfer that certainty and explain to them, like, why this time it's going to be different. Why this time, that what you do is going to be different than the last one, and you don't have to worry as much. The other thing is that they need a realistic understanding of what's can be possibly accomplished. Because if you're hyping up your coaching and you're making it out to be this insane, amazing stuff, people will be like, well, I need to think about that because I really don't believe that. You're telling me I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 8 weeks? Well, I've been trying to lose 50 pounds for 15 years, is sometimes what these people are saying. And so they just don't believe it. It might be true. Maybe you've got a whole page of testimonials that, might be true, but is it? And they don't believe it. So they have to believe it, and they have to believe that they can do it. If they don't believe they can do it, and they don't believe it's possible, those are two sort of different things. It might be true, but they have to believe it, okay? And a lot of coaches sell stuff that's true, but it's completely on the border of crazy. It's like, yeah, I'm sure that happened. I'm sure you did help some people lose 80 pounds in a month. But is that really true? Can the average person really achieve that? You see what I mean there? And so that's why it's funny. I watch all these coaches on Facebook with these insane claims. And the only types of people they get are people who are into those insane claims, more business opportunity type people. And usually aren't the best qualified clients anyways. So make sure what your stuff is believable in the context of think somebody who's been failing this whole time. And how can I transfer certainty because they don't have confidence? So those are the things you do. And then all those things together, what we find leads to less people saying they need to think about it, okay? Because if they tell you they're going to think about it, they're not coming back. Maybe 1 in 50 will come back. So we want to eliminate the option for that at all. But it's not always the objection handling, like there's one objection that you can arm wrestle them down to the ground and go, oh, I got him in. It doesn't, that's really kind of old school sleazy selling. And so we want to go, okay, if people are always saying they need to think about it, well, how do we fix that problem way further upstream so that you don't have to play objection whack-a-mole on the I need to think about it and have this wrestling match on the phone of willpower and over willpower them to get them in, because they're not going to be happy. You're going to be frustrated. It's going to be exhausting. You're just not going to want to do this anymore. So that's what you need to do. Here's what I need for you to do. I need you to click the like button. So let me know you like this video so I can get you more of them. And click the subscribe button so we can get you more of them when they come up. All right? Take care.